Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something. The apple. One of several artifacts we call pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe. Some hidden, some found, all of them dangerous. Most are held by a single group, the same group that now had Desmond. You know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do. After all, I've seen the truth. That's the beauty and the horror of the Animus. A device that allows us to enter and experience the lives of our ancestors. It holds the power to change everything, to show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both. But there's only so much that we can do, and the Templars have the upper hand these days. But something larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching, bigger than all of us. And if we can't find a way to stop it, these next few weeks will probably be our last. Everyone's last. In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus, he discovered his heritage, explored the lives of his ancestors, and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained. He used another ancestor to provide decades of experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think. We hope. Soon we'll know. That ominous date fast approaches, December 21st, 2012. None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be. When it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization, the ones who came before, a precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden. This is where they've led him, and through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place, armed with the knowledge of Altair and the abilities of Ezio. He holds in his hands the apple of Eden, and we stand at his side, ready to support him however we can. His name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end.
Alright, there we go. Watched the introduction again, and what an introduction it is, you know. The way Miles kind of like sums up the story of, I guess, every game until now. And yeah, reaching the final conclusion, of course, of Desmond's storyline, which is where we're getting today. Of course, today we will be finishing the main story, at least I think so. We're currently in sequence 11. And at the tail end of it. So yeah, most of the events will happen back to back, pretty much. And then it's time to finish off Desmond's story. So hey there, Mr. Goody, welcome in. Stanley, welcome in as well. if you were an assassin, you would infiltrate Templar Order, raise your ranks until you got to the ring-wearing ceremony, and at the end say these lines, "May the Daddy of Understanding guide us." I mean, we would definitely, yeah, leave him in shambles, for sure. It's like, how could you? It's the father. How can he disrespect us like this? Yeah, we're currently at 44%. And, yeah, earlier I ran the game. And I noticed that basically it set us already into the underground of New York. And basically, if you exit the enemies or if you leave to the main menu, it kind of like puts you in like a near position of where the next main quest is often. This wasn't my intention, but it happened, which I'm not complaining about, because finding an underground in New York can be very difficult, I would imagine. Because there's only like one that you can enter if you haven't unlocked any other. And yeah, finding that specifically, you would definitely have to look at the map. So honestly, pretty fortunate timing there. Can't redeem the floor's lava for the lead chase. Nope. I would imagine that would be pretty much impossible because you gotta chase him across the docks as well. And I don't think there's like a perfect connection between like the rooftops there. I mean, we can still attempt it, you know, if there is an option to like stay on the rooftops. I could just try it out for myself, you know. But yeah, today, given we focus kind of like on the ending missions, I didn't want to have like any of those challenges coming in the way of that. So hey there, Grace, welcome in. But yeah, let's get back into this. Sequence 11.
Patriots, for all their talk of liberty and equality, will fall back into the old ways. It will depend greatly on who is speaking It is in our nature. Doing what we do. Ensure their leader is sterile. Without an heir,
I gotcha, Grace. Thank you for dropping by. I hope you're having a nice start to your day so far. You got some good rest as well. I'm just following the voices here, I guess. Not sure if that's the right path here. But lighting the lanterns would definitely give us like an indication from where we already have searched, I guess. It's like a good way to like backtrack. But yeah, we are correct here.
Connor! This tunnel will take you into the military district.
And the Admiral?
He waits for you to light this signal. And then the strike begins.
And we will be there as well.
We gotta over there in this direction, I think. What's the lighthouse, like the tower there? Let's go for the bow here. If you listen to Wickerman, indeed, that's the plan. Yeah, we're gonna chase Lee and get him. That motherfucker. Definitely got it coming. Oh, what the fuck? But I can't go up here. Okay. Great plan. Was smart. It's like, let me give a light signal in the area that you're shooting at.
Need to get inside the fort.
I am in no condition to fight. Need to stay away from the guards.
Yeah, not one of Connor's brightest ideas that he's ever had.
Where are you, Charles?
Gone.
Come now. You cannot hope to match me, Connor. For all your skills, you are still but a boy, with so much left to learn.
Give me Lee!
Impossible. He is the promise of a better future. The sheep need a shepherd.
He has been dismissed and censured. He can do nothing for you now.
A temporary setback. He will be restored.
You act as though you have some right to judge. To declare me and mine wrong for the world. And yet everything I've shown you, all I've said and done, should clearly demonstrate otherwise. We did not harm your people. We did not support the crown. We worked to see this land united and at peace. Under our rule, all would be equal. Do the Patriots promise the same?
They offer... Surrender, and I will spare you.
Brave words from a man about to die.
You fare no better.
Even when your kind appears to triumph, still we rise again. And do you know why? It's because the Order is born of a realization We require no creed, no indoctrination by desperate old men. All we need is that the world be as it is. And this is why the Templars will never be destroyed.
Don't think I have any intention of caressing your cheek and saying I was wrong. I will not weep and wonder what might have been. I'm sure you understand. Still, I'm proud of you in a way. You've shown great conviction, strength, courage. All noble qualities. I should have killed you long ago.
We've got a problem. Hatham doesn't have the amulet anymore.
But the temple's still sending data. There must be more to this story.
Only one way to find out.
It's interesting that Hatham is actually left with a tomahawk in that situation. But yeah, rest in peace, Hatham. But he kinda asked for it when he tried to murder us, I guess. But definitely tragic, you know, that Connor has to eventually kill Hatham, his own father. And what was an alliance he hoped would still, you know, be possible.
My father is dead. Charles Lee now leads the Templar Order in his place. I see now why ours is an eternal war. For each piece taken from the board, another is placed upon it. Back and forth we go. Across the world. Across the ages. Some days mine feels an impossible task. But I cannot afford to be consumed with doubt. The people need me. Now more than ever. I must stop the Templars. I will kill Charles Lee.
Indeed. That's what we're doing today. Also, hey there, Shilla, welcome in. It's going good. We're about to finish AC3 here today. How are you doing? And how did you enjoy the game yesterday? I was watching quite a bit of it. And that save from Zule was on another level.
We gather today to remember a man of peerless vision who sought to change the world. And change the world he did. Look around. Even now the British prepare to retreat. Their spirits broken. Their forces splintered. The Patriot leadership shall soon fall, either into our service or into the ground. And then, my friends, all of this will finally be ours. We have Hatham to thank for this. He and all those others who sacrificed for our cause. But he was not content merely to save the people of America, no. He sought to save those sworn to our destruction. He sought to save the assassins. Aye, it seems a mad thing now. And it cost him his life. The assassins are a cruel and terrible coven. They speak only the language of death. Too late he learned the truth of this. Murdered by his own son. He gave his life as he lived it, in service to a dream we all share. And so we must fight on. We will vanquish our enemies. We will spread our word. And in time, my brothers and sisters, in time, we will have our new world.
Yeah, I kinda doubted Chardsley. Shelley, you good? The game was really entertaining to watch. Nice. It really looked like it was. I was watching the conference, like the simulcast, but yeah, like whenever we switched to Dortmund, it was definitely looking like an entertaining game. This kind of brings me back to the funeral mission in AC1.
He sent me away. That day, at Fort George. He feared for my safety. I should have stayed. He said there was no danger.
He was wrong.
I will kill you, Connor. This I swear. Not here, though. Not today. No. First, I'll destroy all you hold dear. I'll burn that homestead of yours to the ground and roast the severed heads of your precious founding fathers in its flames. And when I've finished with them, all the rest will burn as well. Your merry band of assassins, the human refuse that lives on your land, your village and its people, all of it, gone.
You can try, Charles. But as with all your schemes, this too will end in failure.
Get him on his feet. He will wait. He will watch. And then, when he's seen all his life's work brought to ruin, only then will I allow him to die. Take him away.
Oh, I hope that wasn't a tooth.
The heck. The game minimized again. Great. Okay. But yeah, that speech from Chardsley, you know, I mean, maybe he wasn't the one to start the fire at the beginning of the game when the village was raised, you know, which killed Connor's mother. Or that's still something I think people can debate about and make a case for. You know, he's basically proving here that he would do it, you know, gladly. And obviously, we have already seen at the beginning how little he thinks of Connor's people, you know, in the village. You know, calling it the human refuse and that they're like living in the dirt like animals and stuff, you know. And he's basically confirming he would burn it to the ground, you know. Obviously, at this point, as a reaction to Haven dying, and obviously Haven meant a great deal to Charles, you know. It's like the mentor he always looked up to, but at the same time he also used his influence within being the right-hand man of Haven, and acting in his stead often without Haven knowing. But yeah, makes you wonder if Charles was like secretly having a crush on Haven, or he's just like the biggest fanboy ever. But yeah, he definitely can't cope with the loss. Your mom, Charles, exactly. It's like, no you. Epilogue Chatsi's spirit to make Connor as much as possible before killing him, but it's stupid to not kill Connor right where he stands. Yeah, there's quite a few scenes where, you know, they have a chance to kill each other, you know, but they don't take it. You don't honestly just use common sense, but man, yeah. Would be the obvious thing to do, I guess, to have common sense. But can be quite rare. Yeah, daddy issues. He's the daddy of understanding. Oh look, a chest. Oh, I don't have any tools here. All of it gone. Okay then. The map situation. Yeah, I looked on the map 11 times and we are at about 22-23 hours played. So I can look at the map another 11-12 times. But I don't think I will need that many until the end of the game. There's only 2 more missions after this one. Sounds like something else when you put it like that. That's very true. Yeah, we definitely try to look at the map as little as possible, but sometimes I guess the game didn't give us the necessary narrative information, so I definitely had to look at the map a few times, like, unless I wanted to wander around for ages, for like hours on end. Sometimes it's like, go and meet the elders in the Mohawk village, but actually what it really wants you to do is go right next this big army on the left side of it. It's like there's no way that, you know, you can figure that out unless you like memorize it. So yeah, some map looks have definitely been 100% necessary.
Where is Charles Lee gone?
The harbor. To catch a ferry.
Mercy kill. Oh, it's questionable if you know, he really like would have not survived. Okay, so we have to go to the harbor. Where's the harbor? Let's go ahead and go on the church, have a look around. Okay, over there. Why can't I jump? Do I have to like synchronize? Yeah, the game is like literally forcing you to synchronize here. I can't even like jump back there. Like disabled all my high profile actions. Which means I can't jump off and I have to press B. I didn't want to actually because it creates this like audio bug in the remaster version where the soundtrack here currently is just like looping over and over. I think we can fix it by just climbing down and not jumping, actually. Just the remastered experience, I guess. Yeah, if you actually climb down manually and you don't jump the leap of faith, then I think it's gonna get rid of the music. Yeah, it did. Okay, that's good. Because I didn't want it to like override the mission music here. I think somewhere in the water should be like a ship which we can like go to. Maybe this one? What is this? The reflections are a bit weird, actually. Yeah, that should be the one. Stanley, in a brawl between Connor, Jacob and Bike, who do you think would win? I think honestly Connor is like such a combat machine. I think he has such a raw strength. He's like really good at multitasking and has just like a sheer will. I think Bike is quite similar in some ways. I don't know, I think Bayek, I mean, he got overtaken by like 5 or 6 guys attacking him as a grown man, being like fully trained, right? Conan dealt with such a situation when he was like a teenager against like grown men. I think that tells you quite a bit about Connor. He could deal with that being so young. But to be fair, I guess he got also like canonically, at least they kind of like do knock him out, and then Achilles has to save him. But he still killed quite a few guys by himself. That would definitely rule out Jacob, I think, even though Jacob is also quite strong. I don't think he has the same kind of prowess that the other two have. I would say Bike, he burns down everyone with his torch. I mean, that's fair. Bike has like an infinite torch supply. Certainly an advantage. Are you shitting me? I have ever desynchronized me because I killed him, you know. The thing is, I actually actively wanted to go for a high profile ledge assassination because it looks cool, it looks stylish. But it gets like detected for like a millisecond, which means it like failed the, you know, objective of not being detected. Makes sense. Stanley, I think Connor as well, because he's an absolute tank, but on the other hand, Jacob's actually job is brawling. There's a technique in stamina, or like a rhythm. That's true. And Jacob is definitely used to like brawling a lot all the time. I've seen some pretty brutal batterings in Syndicate. Then again, Connor straight up most people down with tomahawks. Yeah. I mean, it's a tough call, you know. Also definitely depends on the environment sometimes. And like what kind of weapons they're allowed to use and stuff.
I believe these men meet the requirements.
You believe incorrectly. They're sick and weak. We're looking to build an army.
They will lead
fill
me
an
to
almshouse.
It would take months to get them into fighting shape. We don't have the time.
No, please. We'll do anything you want. Anything. Only take us with you.
Quiet, well.
Your merchandise is useless to us.
Perhaps we should discuss this back in my cabin.
Yeah, that's fair. I think hand-to-hand wise, Syndicate is definitely really laying the focus on that, because even weapons like, I mean, the whole like kind of like speed of combat is kind of like inspired by it, I think, hand-to-hand combat. And of course, like having literal like enhancements for the fizz, and then like the kukri it also work like a bit faster, and also like much smaller than, you know, other weapons. That really is also, I think, in Syndicate's like core structure, having like combat that feels away. Is he actually gonna move? This one. So I couldn't ledge assassinate from having one hand up. You have to have both hands up, but then he starts to detect you. And he is moving either. I guess you gotta kill him from here. That's the thing, right? I feel like Connor definitely utilizes a lot of his body for like a, you know, like a brawl, I guess. Then also like looking at the multi-counter finishers that Connor has, you know, it really like shows it's like a quick time.
Sorry to have disappointed.
Jesus, can I just go down?
For us to have come all this way for nothing.
I like his speed and adaptability.
No need to be rash. Only give me a little more time. I'll scour the other ships if I must. I'm certain there are prisoners who will meet your needs.
Very well. You have 2 days.
Thank you.
Present yourself to the Green Dragon Tavern in Boston with the men you've chosen. We shall meet you there along with our master.
Come on. Move. Alright, so we gotta get to Boston. And we gotta go to the Green Dragon Tavern. At least that's what they mentioned. Listen, your brain was like, all you gotta do is call Icarus to has them. Boom, done. It's kind of funny in Odyssey how you can literally use Icarus to kill entire camps if you want to. Because at some point the ability does quite a bit of damage. And you can just like use it over and over since it doesn't really have like that big of a cooldown. Obviously it would like take ages. But yeah. It's kind of funny how you can use Icarus like that sometimes. Yeah, at some point I saw like a YouTube video where somebody was like playing an entire game or like trying to play through the entire story just using Icarus to kill guys. And I think at some point when Rod did his stealth challenge, I think he did like a stealth completion challenge on Odyssey. At some point, I guess, because it just was easier, he went also with like taking out key targets with Icarus and stuff. Because it meant that he didn't have to expose himself. I mean, pretty smart if you ask me. Odyssey really disorientates you. How do you mean, Stanley? I think you're one viewpoint away from max arrest damage too. Nice. I gotta embrace the tactic. I never really do it, to be honest, because it takes too much time sometimes for me. But it's definitely a fun way of handling some targets. I mean, that's true, Stanley. You know, at some point in Odyssey you just get so used to just like taking huge forts. And then you like switch to another game and it's like, whoops, can't do that here. I guess to be fair, in Valhalla you can still take quite a lot of fort damage. It's quite generous, I guess. But yeah, having like literal no fort damage at some point is just insane. I still think it was kinda a stupid decision to do that. I mean, gameplay wise it wasn't. Because obviously, you know, it's like super convenient and people love using it on like a gameplay side of things, which I totally understand. It's kind of like similar to the rope launcher, which speeds things up. You know, it's like either climbing down or climbing up. But that's what Leap of Faith were for, into like haystacks and stuff, you know? So I feel like making them circumstantial is like better, because it makes you like, you know, not just jump aimlessly from like 500 meter drops and not have a scratch. So yeah, and also like I think logically it's like difficult to explain, because they're saying like, yeah, obviously they have like special genes and like, you know, the piece of Eden is like preventing the main character from taking 4 damage, but how? You know, it's still like based on actual science or science fiction, I guess. And the thing is, they didn't apparently take 4 damage in the beginning either. That's a funny thing with Odyssey, I think, because nobody seems to take 4 damage sometimes in like, you know, like the stories, because you have in the beginning, Alexius gets thrown off a mountain, you know, and obviously that mountain was chosen specifically to kill babies by dropping them to 4 damage. And somehow he survives, I guess because he's like in hybrid, but that doesn't make any sense, you know. You know, he would still die from it, but he somehow survived, though I guess with grave injuries, so I think that's possible, to be honest. But then also Cassandra gets thrown off and she also survives, can even like run afterwards to a boat and escape. You know, so they kind of like survive 4 damage in the beginning of the game. And then later, I'm not sure who of you actually done it, but you can antagonize Stentor and you can like kick him off a mountain, right? And he like falls all his way down from where he's standing and it would like kill everyone. But he somehow survives it and later comes back with like a scar or something. Even though you like actively chose to kill him by pushing him down. So that's really weird sometimes. So now Ubisoft can complain about parkour mechanics if they don't have to use them. Pretty much. I mean, that's how they're on the safe side, isn't it? And I really needed Big Dave here, but I never got him to the homestead. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, they survived 4 damage in the beginning, you know, being like a baby and a kid. I think the funniest thing is actually Cassandra, you know, surviving as well, and she's being like fine, you know, she can like keep on running and stuff. I think it would have worked better if she like barely survived, because people obviously, you know, they can like survive like grave falls of like multiple 100 meters depending how they fall. But in any case, you know, you should be like be pretty hurt, you know, and like injured. So it would have made sense if like Cassandra and Alexis were left for dead. Alexis was like rescued or recovered by the Count. And Cassandra kind of like, you know, kind of like lays there for a while before she can go back up again or something. I don't know, something like this would have worked better, I think. The fact she just like stands up and like keeps on running is kind of like, okay then. Before didn't mean anything to you, apparently. But the way they kind of like trick the player is by cutting certain things. You know, you don't always see it like always back to back certain memories. So until you get to see the next part, sometimes it like, you know, you might have also forgotten about what exactly happened before. Somehow Alexis returned, yeah. He must have synced all viewpoints and had unlocked the no 4 damage perk as a baby. Seems legit. Or definitely whoa, Lucinda, thank you for being here and for joining. I hope you have a great start to your Odyssey session, which I assume you're playing today. And yeah, maybe catch you later for that.
What can I do for you?
How to be like, you're on prank TV, your kids aren't dead. Wave to the camera. Yeah. That's how I feel sometimes in Odyssey. Is this just a prank? You know? Is this serious? I mean, it's kind of funny and amusing, but are they actually serious? It's like me 90% with Odyssey. It's kind of entertaining, but also kind of whack. But hey, sometimes wacky humor can also land, I guess. Right, Testicles. The ultimate Spartan athlete. Always likes to be oiled. He's the real deal.
Terror grips our city because...
Alright, I guess you gotta find the exit. Let's go ahead and follow our horse. Hey, Viserve, welcome in. Indeed. I hope you enjoy the lurk and ducking around. Can I go in here? Ah yeah, this is the lighthouse location here.
The New York Morning Post.
So I think are we on the south side currently? I have no idea. I think we have to go to a north west exit, I guess, of New York. Oh, I think they're guarding this place. Yeah, they are.
In today's New York Chronicle.
I think honestly New York was a bit easier to navigate than Boston because I think the individual districts kind of like stuck out a bit more, especially since one district was like totally burned to the ground almost. Which means once you can kind of like make out where that is located roughly, it's definitely making it easier to realize where the other parts are. Okay, our convoy is getting attacked again, but I probably have no way of ending it, actually. Whatever should be the exit here. That was weird. Couldn't take my horse into the frontier apparently. Okay, so Boston should be to the right. Because the entrance to New York is further on the west side. Let's circle around this water and hopefully find another exit. No worries whatsoever, Schiller. I hope you have a good one. Thank you for being here, and I definitely will enjoy killing Charles. Gonna be good to deal with him. I'll catch you next time, dude. Okay, time to find the Green Dragon Tavern. It's definitely a tavern that stands out, I guess, if we really pay attention to the like signs. Might take me a bit to find it. It's definitely on one of the main streets. So that excludes quite a few places actually.
The French fleet is assembling near Chesapeake Bay.
Is it over here? I guess not. Hey there, Simon. Welcome in. Don't see a minimap? That's right. Yeah, I play with no HUD. So without the heads-up display, which means I have minimap, health bar, and all of that turned off essentially. This. You have to like run into me? I think that's it actually. Yeah, that's the Green Dragon Tavern. You can see it by, I guess, the Green Dragon. Top the tavern.
Need something, darling?
No.
Ugh, rude.
Can I help you? You know you can. Pardon? Oh! Jesus. I do not like having my time wasted. Stop that! Oh, don't make me call the guards! Make a sound and you die. What do you want? He's in the harbor, at the Long Pier, most likely. We heard what happened at the parade. Charles got all nervous, said he was leaving the country. I thought he was overreacting. Guess not. No. Thank you.
Alright, so we gotta go to the harbor. Let's go ahead and get on the rooftops here so we can see the next kind of possible harbor nearby. Not like I can see too much here with all of this fog going on. Don't even see like sails anywhere. Yeah, that's not helpful. Hey there, Switchblade, welcome in. Okay, I'm just gonna run until we find the water, and then I'm just gonna run until we find the place that resembles where we first got to Boston as Haven. Because that's where I know it's gonna be. Well, this place already looks quite similar. This is actually where I had to go. I think so, actually. Yeah, we have a flag and everything. Okay, that was another lucky one, actually. I guess instinctively I knew where to go. But no, that was actually just luck. There he is.
As your hip and pull the shoe, need your tack adjusted. Columns barriers of Needle Street. Lace to go.
The Tomahawk is waiting for your charts. wanna see if I can actually use the rooftops here. My advantage. Guess a little bit. Kind of funny, I'm like close enough, but I can't kill him. The thing is, if you get too close to him, you can actually bug the mission as well. The later stage here. Indeed, yeah, this is actually the second last mission in the game. But look at Charles having those parkour moves though. It's quite impressive.
Why do you persist? You put us down, we rise again. You end one plot, we forge another. You try so hard, but it always ends the same. Those who know you think you mad, and this is why. Even those men you sought to save have turned their backs on you. Yet you fight. You resist. Why?
Because no one else will.
Kind of a dick move, wouldn't you say? Just shooting him in the stomach like that. Especially from that angle. Like, Charles is fucked. It's not going to be what kills him, but it would kill him eventually, I think. Charles is better than Avo at parkouring. It's true.
Rough night, was it? He headed inland, took a ferry up the Charles River.
I will need passage as well.
Of course. Only say the word.
It's very generous of the game, porting us directly where we have to go. Eva Marcin, welcome in, good morning. You didn't, but appreciate the lurk and hope you're doing well.
Why would they leave this behind?
Long have we waited for you to return. You have done as we asked. You have succeeded.
No! I have failed! My people are gone! Chased out by those who I thought would protect them!
It is a trade, a sacrifice, and not in vain. For you have found it.
This?
Now you must hide it, where none shall think to look, and then in time, what once was, shall be again.
I do not understand.
Nor need you. Only do as we ask. Then you may do as you wish.
But what of my people?
You have saved this place, as was your people's purpose, and that matters most.
It is not enough.
It will never be enough. You strive for that which does not exist. Still, you have made a difference, and you will do so again. Remember, you must hide the amulet where none might find it.
Man, these scenes are so good. You know, there's like nothing said, but everything is like visual narrative, you know, between Charles and Connor deciding to bury it there.
Then let's go.
You know, all of the characters are established, you know their intentions. So words are not necessary anymore, really. But yeah, that scene, especially between Charles and Connor, I think is really powerful.
Guess this is it.
We're right behind you.
I thought you are behind me, not in front of me. Yeah, this part, Marcel. Long have you waited, and now you're... Right. I quite like Konosuk too, you know, like also with the face paint and everything. Yeah, the final mission is Desmond. Always hurts to see him go, you know. Because we've been on quite a journey with him ever since AC1. And there's been quite a bit of content where you also understand more of his backstory and character and why he ended up being here. Final part, indeed. Right, just go back to the enemies. Yeah, modern day was definitely quite dependent on him. I mean, I think Black Flag still feels like part of a Desmond saga in terms of like, you know, you explore his ancestors' memories and you still have like quite a lot of connections to Desmond. But I guess following after that, you know, with like Rogue and Unity and Syndicate, we definitely... I guess Ubisoft realized that most players don't really care too much about the modern day, they just want to play the historical part, so they try to focus less on it. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was really the best decision, because it still got people invested, I guess, and gave it like a much richer narrative, I think. It really makes it more multi-layered, you know, having all these like different time periods from the first civilization to historical time periods to modern day. Keep hunting those beavers. Then the bad guy they set up from his death gets dealt with in comics. Yeah, that was still one of the worst decisions they could have made, you know, with after Syndicate. Just resolving Juno's story arc in a comic instead of in the games, even though she's been like the major antagonist since Brotherhood. All the way till, you know, Syndicate, really. I mean, Syndicate literally ends with Juno's face and how she says, "I will save you all." You know, which also sounds like a threat, but you don't ever see that happening in the games. Which really is a shame, you know, because it really pushes also the First Civilization arc the side, not only the modern day. But then of course with Origins they try to like rekindle the whole modern day by introducing a new character, Layla, and then giving us similar gameplay to what Desmond used to do. But I think what made the modern day great was the supporting cast as well, right? And Layla is like basically by herself for most of the time. You have like this other character, like a friend, but it's not really much of a relationship that's built up, or can't really talk to them in person or whatever. I think having like characters like Sean and Rebecca and Lucy and now William, you know, they also are what made the modern day great, not just the main protagonist. And having like a diverse cast there and like knowing what's going on with like the other guys. And of course I tried to do that in Odyssey a little bit more, you know, having like, what was she called? Like Victoria or something? But yeah, it was like more just to be there, I guess. Also, give me just 1 sec. I'm back. Black Flag belongs to the Kenway Saga Rogue 2. Yeah, it does. But what I was saying was basically it seems like it's part of the Desmond's saga in terms of like modern day is still basically only possible because of him. And I mean, you know, AC3 is also part of Kenway saga and it's part of the Desmond saga. So they kind of like, you know, intertwine because Kenway family is like part of Desmond's legacy, of course. Marcin, we're thinking if any of the newer games beside Origins are worth buying. Do you have an opinion on that? Maybe Unity Syndicate? Yeah, I mean, if you like no HUD ways of playing and like immersive style, then I think Unity would be great for you because it looks very realistic. It has some of the most realistic parkour animations, and at least in terms of like how they mocapped it. And it's just generally a really great stealth-based game, I would say. Syndicate is based on the same system, but it's definitely more arcadey, I would say. And I mean, yeah, it depends what you're looking for. I mean, Odyssey is a pretty good action RPG, and really focusing on the latter. Maybe not the best AC game, but a pretty solid game in itself. And Valhalla has the opinion split pretty much. I think Valhalla is great for the atmosphere, the narrative, historical research, and overall like fitting in with the rest of the series. The gameplay, yeah, I guess you have to decide for yourself if it looks interesting to you, if you would like to play as a Viking. That's right, yeah, Unity is based on the French Revolution, so like late 80th century. Definitely one of the more modern ones. But Syndicate is still more modern. Syndicate is actually 1861 or something. Victorian era London. So that's like the most modern game we had in like a 3D based Assassin's Creed game.
Moment of truth.
Yes. Come. Here, at last. You know our story now. Of how we tried. Of how we failed. All our hopes extinguished. Save one. Your touch. A spark. A spark to save the world.
Wait! Do not touch the pedestal.
Minerva?
You. But how? You left. You destroyed the device.
Did you think there was only one?
What the hell is going on here?
You must not free her.
Free her?
Juno dwells within these walls, awaiting release. I will explain. While we worked to save the world, she sought instead to conquer it. She used our machines to set her plans in motion. Divination through numbers. There is a pattern to existence. To comprehend the calculations is to tame time. This was my focus. And so I built the eye to aid us. But she turned it towards her own ends. When we discovered her treachery, we put a stop to it. And then we left. But first we called to you, that you might try again. We thought it would be safe with her gone. Now I see we were deceived. She survived, she endured, and then she began to work. For centuries, Tinia and I walked the world, hoping to rekindle the spark of civilization. We shared what we knew as best we could. We were not the only ones, but for all the power we wrought, still death would claim us. But before it did, I would have one last look to know if we had succeeded.
That's how you're here now?
I had hoped you might find this place and finish our work. But it is too late. You and the Templars have squabbled over our refuse. You have wasted centuries, and so you have lost your chance. You cannot hope to stop the end now, Desmond. Only to survive.
She's lying! Only touch the pedestal and the world will be saved.
Better the world burn than she be loosed upon it.
Is that so? Show him then.
But he will not understand. It is complicated. It is...
Show me.
If you heed Minerva, the sun will have its way. The ground will crack and spit fire into the skies. All the world will burn. But this does not end the world, merely heralds its arrival. Darkness follows. Then you emerge, resolving to lay a foundation that such a tragedy does not befall the world again. You will become a symbol to those who survive. Hope, knowledge, determination. You will inspire them to rebuild, to thrive once more. And as the world heals, so too will humanity. But you are just a man, frail and mortal. You pass from the world, leaving behind only a memory. A legacy. You will be remembered first as a hero, later as a legend, and in time, as a god. It is the cruelest fate, to have written words that meant well, and see them made wicked and unwise. What was meant to encourage life, used instead to justify taking it. And so now you see that what was shall be again. So tell me, how is this better? She would sacrifice you, sacrifice the world, for no other reason than to deny me vindication.
They will enslave your kind, Desmond. Is this not why you fight? Is this not why you came here? To ensure more than just your race's future, but its freedom?
What future? What freedom? Billions dead and the whole cycle begun anew? This world has known nothing but heartache and horror since we left it.
Our gift to them, and you'd see it all returned.
Enough!
You must not do this.
Whatever Juno's planning, however terrible it might seem today, we'll find a way to stop it. But the alternative, what you want, there's no hope there.
If you free her, you'll be destroyed.
It will happen in an instant. There will be no pain.
You mustn't.
It's done, Minerva. The decision's made.
Then the consequences of this mistake are yours to live and die with.
You need to go. All of you. Now. Get as far away from here as you can.
Come with us. We'll find another way.
There isn't time.
Son.
You know it's true. It's already started. I need to do this now. So go. Go!
It's some sort of global aurora borealis. Never seen anything like this before. Eyewitnesses describe electrical storms and erratic displays of unusual weather. Residents are being asked to remain inside and wait for geological surveys are now reporting seismic activity throughout the Ring of Fire. Northeastern Canada is said to be experiencing the largest on record. Satellites and transformers are failing as the flare increases in intensity. Worldwide reports of blackouts seems to be receding. Residual seismic and volcanic activity is being reported, but nothing approaching earlier levels. Obviously, it'll be a while before experts are able to assess the full extent of the damage caused by today's events. But it appears the worst is behind us. We'll be sure to bring you more as this story develops.
It is done. The world is saved. You played your part well, Desmond. But now it's time that I played mine.
There we go. The end of a modern day with Desmond. Sacrificed himself to stop, you know, the catastrophe from happening further. But in the process, setting Juno free to roam the world, essentially. Of course, at this point, Juno isn't, you know, possessing a body, but basically allows her to escape the temple and move through the electrical networks of the world, to communicate to people and potentially manipulate them in ways to also receive a body, which is gonna happen eventually. Yeah, no pain, Harbinger. No pain at all. It's interesting because Desmond, of course, makes the decision quite consciously. But when he's actually touching it, you can see he can't remove his hand anymore, and he tries to. So his instinct is not to like keep on going, it's to like, you know, remove his hand. So he's definitely not enjoying the moment, I guess you could say. It makes you wonder how much pain he actually had to endure there in this last moment, you know. I think it's a bit of a shame that there's like not more of a goodbye between Desmond and Sean and Rebecca especially, you know. They just stand there awkwardly and just go away. Which definitely gives you the feeling that the ending is kind of rushed, but I mean, it is in the sense also that, as Desmond says, you know, it like already started. Like, that's why there's still like the aurora borealis all across the world and some seismic activity and stuff. Because it already had started and Desmond was like thinking, the longer he waits, the more people might die because of him. So ultimately, you know, he's like really making the ultimate sacrifice. As an assassin, I guess, to protect the innocent. But yeah, as a result, you know, like Juno gets taken loose of the world and she's even worse than the Templars in some regards. Especially in terms of like how much she hates, you know, the humans. Like she would probably literally make them like physical slaves of some sorts. Whereas the Templars just want them to keep them in a nice tidy prison, you know. And they can be fine within, I guess. Juno's, I guess, vision of the future would be much worse for the world. So weird, you would have gone for the apocalypse. Yeah, the thing is, I guess you can see that history would probably just repeat itself, you know? Because human nature doesn't really change all that much, it seems. I guess it's either throwing away like thousands of years of progress or, you know, carrying on. So hey there, Adrian, welcome in. It's like UB higher-ups just never let them do a full-fledged present day. It's very true, yeah, because initially the plan that yeah, the main guys between the Assassin's Creed had was to make it like a trilogy, in which the third game would have been basically focused on modern day and on Desmond. and you probably would have still had like historical like sequences, but the focus would have been definitely on modern day. And Nolan North, the voice actor for Desmond, actually said at some point that they had the plans to basically make Desmond master the bleeding effect and basically be able to visit his ancestors' memories without even having to use the animus. Which would have been quite interesting to see in theory, like how that could have worked. Obviously we already have that happening in some regard, you know, like in AC2 we had like Desmond basically fall into like a sleep coma of sorts, and then experienced like an Altair memory, and he wasn't even in the animus when that happened. It was kind of like foreshadowed in AC2 that you know, he could actually visit his ancestors without using the animus. But I guess it's kind of like a matter of like being in the animus and so for so long caused caused like Altair's memories to be quite strong in him. So Altair's memories in a way became his memories. And that's why I like dreamed about it, I guess. Never liked Juno. I'm not a fan of Juno either. I mean, I think she's an interesting character, but what she stands for, I don't like for sure. The story in Horizon kind of gives you Assassin's Creed present day vibes. I thought exactly the same, Adrian. Like when I played Horizon Zero Dawn for the first time, I was like, is this whole game like inspired by the plot of Assassin's Creed? You know, with like the ancient kind of like advanced civilization, you know? And we're like uncovering this like ancient technology and stuff. Of course, the big change is the ancient times is like our time, and you know, the present day is like in the far future. But yeah, it's a very similar approach they had. And then also, of course, I don't remember like all of it, but they had also like these names for different programs, right, which are like based on like the Pantheon and stuff. And the role they play, I guess, to also communicate with Aloy felt quite similar, I guess, to how the first Sith guys talked to Desmond. Yeah, so this finishes our playthrough of Assassin's Creed 3. And we ended it with 11 map looks total. I think we have about 24 hours of playtime, roughly. Maybe a bit less. So I could have looked 24 times at the map, but we did do it 11. Quite happy with it. I've done also a decent bit of side stuff, I guess. Definitely not like super in-depth, but we came across quite a bit which we checked out. I kind of would have loved to have recruited more assassins, because we only had Stefan, who's like basically a no-choice recruitment. It's like part of a story to have him. I've done really good progress with a lot of the liberation contracts, I guess, and I may have even the opportunity to talk to assassins to recruit them. But given that I didn't really come across it naturally, I just never, I guess, ended doing that. But yeah, it was still really nice to play this game as a no HUD run again, because it really makes the game much more cinematic, I think, because I feel like the HUD, especially in this game, can be quite intrusive with the main objectives and how they like always pop up. And I mean, even if you have all the HUD disabled in the menu, it's still gonna appear, which is why I had to install like a mod to get rid of everything. I mean, the mod even gets rid of credits. If I press it, it gets rid of like all the HUD basically in the game, even like the main map if you decide to go on there. So I would definitely one of those games where the HUD is like the most intrusive, I think, sometimes. Also with how big the subtitles are and the remaster and stuff, so I'm glad I also have it disabled this time. But yeah, that being said, navigating through AC3 wasn't the easiest, because the frontier is really big. and there's like not really much to go by to orientate yourself. Mostly waterfronts, but they're on like either side. So you gotta really make out distinguishments between the two. There's like no road signs in the frontier, which didn't really make it much easier either. But I think eventually we figured it out quite well and didn't take awfully long to get from one point to another. The game wasn't the best at like always explaining what I had to do next, at least narratively, but AC Revelations and Brotherhood suffered the same. I would say AC1, AC2 have been definitely better in that regard. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Black Flag because Black Flag from memory has been an excellent game to play without the HUD. However, that's not gonna happen for a bit of a while because we basically replaced this game and the no HUD run with Witcher 3 no HUD, which we started yesterday. And instead of this game, we're gonna be starting a new one. But yeah, I'm not yet sure if I'm gonna be starting anything today. I'm definitely gonna end this stream after the credits and take a bit of a break. And if I still feel like going live later, I might do that. I won't be skipping Rogue. We're still gonna be playing Rogue. But I can actually hold on, I have a command for that. So that's all of the games and DLCs we're gonna be playing. So next is Black Flag, of course, then Rogue, and then we get to Unity Syndicate. That's right, yeah, playing them in release order. So yeah, the order, I guess, release-wise is AC3, Black Flag, and then Rogue. But it is a bit confusing because historically speaking, they are quite different. Historically speaking, AC3 would be first, and then it kind of like intertwines with Rogue quite a lot, like back and forth. And, sorry, no, Black Flag would be first, of course, historically speaking. Like Black Flag happens like back to back all the way, like first. And then you would have like AC3 and Rogue like interacting with each other. Then you can even throw in Liberation. I was actually doing like an historical time period playthrough a while ago, where I played like literally through the historical dates in order between those games, and the amount of times I had to like switch back and forth after like an hour or two of playtime in one game was actually interesting. I even still have a timeline for that going somewhere in case I ever want to do it again. So hey there, Rod, welcome in. Hey there, Sino. How's it going? How was the rest of your Deus Ex playthrough today? I hope you had a good time. Did you end up finishing the game? I've even created a timeline for AC Unity because almost every mission in Unity has like some kind of like date or year. Because obviously the French Revolution has been having like lots of historical documentation going, which means a lot of missions are like based on like historical facts and events. So I had to like go on a wiki and like go literally every mission just to check if it has a specific date and then like put them in the right order. It was actually fun to play the game that way because it really made yeah, a lot of sense, I guess. It didn't feel like the events were like totally out of order. Thank you, Stanley, for the GGs. Rod going great things, got it all done. You're glad you could get your annual runs of Human Revolution and Mankind divided after all. On Monday you'll be starting your annual Splinter Cell runs. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'm also glad that you can still throw that in before the year ends. Glad you figured out how to make it work, you know, with the setup and without like causing any issues. That's awesome. I'm glad that you got to finish it. GG's. I'm looking forward to Splinter Cell runs because it will refresh my memory on some of the games, because I do want to get into them as well at some point. But yeah, so we also finished our playthrough with the no HUD challenge. Didn't have to look at the map anymore, so we ended up with 11 map looks total. Kinda changed how I count. Basically, we're not gonna like look at the main hours in the game all the time. I'm just gonna count how many times I looked at the map. And whenever we like think we're getting close to like exceeding the in-game hour, we're just gonna have a look there. It's a bit of a less hassle than like having to check always like how many times can I still look at the map and how many times I have. I guess I can't get rid of one step. So the map counter now displays not the times I have left, but the times I've looked so far. Cheers, Rod, appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, most games are rather short, right? So I guess you can definitely still get them done before the year ends. Depending, of course, whether or not you're gonna be gone for a few days around Christmas or something. But cheers, dude. It was definitely interesting playing this game, especially also without the fast travel, because I've done no HUD before. But not, you know, like not using any fast travel, so spending so much time on Frontier was certainly interesting. Was the Frontier itself in terms of navigation? Did I find it to be the hardest aspect of traversal? In some ways I would say so, because you often spawn in Davenport Homestead and then it's like, okay, now go to Boston or now go to New York. Or like, I'm gonna ride for that city. And given that the Frontier didn't have any road signs like previous games had in like the landscape area, it made it quite difficult at times, you know. Usually in like games like AC1, of course, you have like road signs in like the Kingdom. In AC2, if you leave a city, you have like road signs guiding you towards like where's San Gimignano, where is Florence. In Brotherhood you didn't need them, nor did you need them in Revelations. But I feel like in AC3 they really could put them into the game, because it would have made the traversal much easier. So that was definitely difficult, I would say. But also gotta say that navigating Boston was also quite difficult, because I feel like New York has like more districts that stand out, like the whole like burned down part of a map, which you always can know is like on the kind of like western side. So having that there makes it much easier to navigate yourself through the city. Boston, I thought it was much more difficult at times. I mean, the most difficult thing was definitely the mission structure sometimes. Because narratively, you know, you could have situations like, yeah, you know, go to Boston and find Sam Adams' house. Okay, let's meet at the destination, you know, and it's like, okay, I have to find a random house in Boston apparently. Or like having something where it doesn't even like match, you know, where it's like saying, go to your elders in the village and warn them of an incoming attack. So you go into the village and you try to talk to the elder, but she's not there. What the game really wanted you to do is go to the army attacking the village on the left north side of it and trigger a checkpoint, then go to the village. So those kind of things were definitely the worst in terms of navigation. Because the game is essentially failing to, yeah, like communicate that properly. But I can't really hold it against the game either, because it's not like they intended those missions to be played that way if you don't know what you're doing, you know. Games definitely have been designed around the HUD ever since AC2. But yeah, I would definitely say in terms of like area, the Frontier has definitely been the most challenging. I think something prominent as a guidepost like New York would have been a relief after navigating Boston. 100%, yeah. It's always good when you have like a really big building or like something like that, you know. For example, in Unity is really easy to navigate in some ways, because if you go on the rooftops anywhere, of course you always have like a really good verticality, which means you have like a really good oversight of the city potentially at all times. But just going on the highest point in the area and then looking towards the center and seeing the Notre Dame there gives you all the navigation you need, really, to like know where you are. It's like exactly in the center, and it's like, you know, like any church is like always facing east with the back part of the church, which means you know, that's how you always know that okay, yeah, you know, that's where the Café Theatre is, and that's where this is, and that. Something like this is like a huge boon if you're playing no HUD. But yeah, Boston didn't really have like that kind of building. Obviously everything is like still in a work in progress situation, you know, everything is like not quite as high. All the buildings are like much more recent, and the churches are also not like as large and pompous as they were in Europe. So yeah, certainly changes, I guess, how you navigate, because everything is just much yeah, smaller, I guess, in scale. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for Black Flag actually, because obviously I enjoyed Black Flag no HUD, but I also allowed myself to use the map at all times as well as fast travel, which might make things quite different this time around, you know, considering how much sailing you have to potentially do. That being said, I think I have a pretty good memory of like islands and where they are located on the map, you know. So I think that's gonna give me quite a good orientation, as well as using the spyglass. I think is gonna be quite helpful too, because it allows you to look ahead and see, okay, that's there. You know, you don't actually have to sail everywhere to see what's there. You can actually utilize the spyglass quite a lot, which really helps too. So yeah, I probably have to make a rule though that I can use the spyglass, but I can't tag anything, because I'm not allowed to take anything on the map. So I would do it the same way in game either. But yeah, using the spyglass is a great way of like making it realistic and immersive, and still giving like a side advantage essentially. So I think honestly that's gonna come really handy. But yeah, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, I guess it's gonna be comparable to Witcher 3 in lots of ways, actually. Because the open world design, of course, is like similar, and also a way like that missions spawn and work. And yeah, of course, like with a level difference, you know, like Witcher 3 had at least one moment where I got like one-shotted by apparently a higher level enemy. Those kind of things are gonna like happen quite a lot in those games, because there's always a chance, you know, that you're gonna encounter somebody you're not supposed to fight, where you're supposed to run. Only that we don't know. So that's gonna be interesting, especially in Odyssey, because at some point mercenaries just get stronger and stronger, right? And like high level. So I'm just waiting for moments in Odyssey where basically I'm getting into huge fights, I fight for my life, I do really well, until somebody comes that just one-shots me with like a freaking poison bomb, and I lose all of my progress of like 50 minutes of fighting. I feel like those situations are gonna happen a handful of times. in Deus Ex Mankind Divided, the actor for Clay is in it. That's really cool. I quite liked Clay's actor actually. I think he did a really good performance. Like also portraying the like side of Clay that's losing more and more side of reality. Yeah, the spyglass is definitely gonna come in quite handy. I love those kind of things that totally make sense for the time and the character and give you like an advantage. It's gonna be interesting too when I play Red Dead, I guess. Like using those like immersive kind of like tools instead of like, you know, looking at the map or whatever. Because you also have a spyglass there, right? And like a camera and all that. That's right, yeah, they can appear amongst mercs of your own level, which means you feel like you can fight one pretty well, and then the other one turns out to be like 5 levels above you or something. Which totally changes the situation. But I think it's just gonna motivate me to be like more stealthy, essentially. Not seek out like huge battles unless I feel like very overleveled or like very powerful. But I think going for like a stealthy build is probably the way to go. Probably go for like an assassin warrior hybrid because I don't see the bow being that reliable without a reticule. So I don't think I want to like actually commit to that and then like potentially miss half my shots or something. Also, hey there, Baisha Dragon, welcome in, good morning. It's definitely gonna be to some degree. I think the games I look most forward to at the moment with a no HUD are definitely Black Flag, Unity, Origins and Valhalla. Valhalla's like much easier with the balancing as well, so I think it's gonna have like less moments where you encounter like totally over-leveled enemies that you can't kill. Because even if they're over-leveled in Valhalla, you can still deal with them more easily, I feel. Don't like immediately become like these like huge damage sponges or something. I guess I'm also kind of looking forward to Syndicate. Especially now that I got the new mod installed. Yeah, so we also won't be doing, of course, any of the DLCs for AC3. So I'm not doing the Benedict Arnold DLC, which is rather short either way. And I won't be doing the Tyranny of King Washington either. So the next AC game would be Black Flag, but as I mentioned earlier, for now Witcher 3 is replacing AC3 as our no HUD game. And then something new will replace this game instead. And I guess once I get to a point in Witcher where I want to take a break from it for a little bit, because it's meant to be like a long-term project, then we're gonna come back to Black Flag and continue with the games. But yeah, that way we have kind of like one no HUD game on the schedule and like one other. But yeah, there's of course the chance that I might also do like 2 no HUD runs at the same time if I really feel like it. But for now, I would want to just keep it to 1 at a time. dialect coaches. Yeah, the amazing voice actors here. That's correct, Rod. Yeah. Yeah, definitely was part of the idea to not do it as like an end-year run. So I can like always like take a break, you know, play something different if I want to. Because I don't really feel like I'm on like a clock, you know, or something. Where I have to get a certain amount of content done in a certain amount of time. Especially with this type of run, I think it wouldn't really work well together. Because you always can't fully like calculate how much time something is gonna take. It could be that you're only like one mission away from finishing the game, but it takes like 1 hour to even find the mission. That's of course like an extreme case, but it is in the possible realm, I guess. So yeah, that way I just have all the time that I need. But yeah, surprisingly though, this, like so far, the no HUD runs have been quite fast. I mean, faster than my stealth challenge earlier this year. But of course with the stealth challenge I've done like basically completionist in terms of like doing all of the missions in the games. But yeah, it's good to kind of like be able to include also like the other games again. Without feeling like, you know, pressure of like having to get them done in under a year. Because yeah, if I would have included Odyssey, Rogue and Syndicate, I mean I probably would have gotten it done under a year, but I would have played like with a series for like yeah, like the entire year pretty much. So I just read the name Max Erouge somewhere in the music part. Isn't he the guy that did the soundtrack for Wrath of the Druids? I didn't actually realize that he was also working on this game already. But that's not the first, you know, like Sarah Schachner for instance, who's like has become one of the major composers for the series. She also worked on this and Black Flag already as like you know, a violinist and like doing some small compositions and helping out with that. In Unity, she finally got her chance to like prove herself as like one of the main composers. If Hyruleo. Odyssey with a stealth challenge can be very, very time intensive. Definitely. And then also like you know, doing the like all missions as well. Never in a million years would have done that on Odyssey. That's the one, Rod. Yeah. I think he was the one that composed Wrath of the Druids, wasn't he? Nice. Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't realize he was already working on this game. Because I did actually read interviews of his in regards to Wrath of the Druids, because didn't it also like didn't it win like some kind of award? I'm not sure, maybe it did. I remember like reading an interview where he talked about working on Assassin's Creed, and it didn't really mention there that he worked on it before, I don't think. But I guess he had like more of a minor role in this one. Assisting Lorne Barth probably. definitely did. I really like the ambient music in Wrath of the Druids. But also the kind of like, you know, music in regards to the couch that you were taking out. The Druid couch was pretty cool. And I gotta say, it's really tempting to start Black Flag though. Now that I finish this game. You know, I'm definitely getting excited to start the adventures of Captain Pissoff. Yeah, sounds good, Mustang. Good luck with the last Hitman mission. I'll catch you next time. Take care. Started. You'll be the same. Yeah. I mean, Black Flag is an amazing game. I find it always really interesting how often it lands on like top 100 lists out of all of the AC games, you know. I mean, it's usually like AC2 and Black Flag that land like somewhere on like top 100 lists of magazines or like people. Also like in one of the recent Reddit surveys I saw, it got a couple thousand votes. I think it was also like landing on there, like both of them. But Black Flag definitely higher up. This really tells you, I guess, that they not only managed to like appeal to the core fan base, I guess, which I guess they did in some ways, but just create like such a great pirate-based game, you know, because it's not much of an alternative in terms of like how well Black Flag does it, you know, and how realistic, I guess. Obviously, there's like good pirate games, but they either like other genres or like, you know, focus on different things, I guess. But yeah, Black Flag just has exceeded itself, I think. Thanks, Mustang, appreciate it. Yeah, it was fun to play this game again. This was actually the game I played the most recent as a no-HUD run. Because 1 year ago, when the game had its 10th year anniversary, I've done like a no-HUD run just to kind of like celebrate the game. But I did play the OG version instead of this one, so it was like a bit different, I guess. I still can't really say which version I prefer, to be honest, because there's like features that I love in the remaster, you know, like being able to like customize your look for cutscenes, because in the original you couldn't like even use your like any of the dye colors for the outfit, which is kind of annoying. I mean, it's like a minor thing, but I liked it as an addition. Also like fixing the economy system, you know, and adding like even mechanical things like free aim and like low profile double assassinations and stuff, whistling out of bushes, and all that made the game definitely more enjoyable, I think. But there's also just so many like counter things that come with it, you know, like lighting bugs or just like bugs and glitches in general. Like we face so freaking many in this playthrough. Fortunately not so much today. Today we didn't have like any bug happening, I don't think. But yeah, in the other parts we definitely did. So yeah, I guess it's definitely a downside, but the thing is, also the original has lots of bugs, you know. So kind of depends which bugs are like less of an irritating thing to you. Hey, the bastard, you missed Shardsley. You did. Yeah, we dealt with him. We found him. But it was good to get him. That whole like chase scene through the ship building process was really cool. I love the atmosphere of it too. Bratislava Symphony Orchestra. Oh yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, I love that whole moment. You know, another moment where there's like nothing really talked. Of course, there's nobody to talk to in that moment. But everything is just visual narrative, you know, and you can really tell, you know. Obviously, you know, him pulling out the tomahawk there means, or comes back to what he did initially, you know, because when initially his village and the people were threatened again, he basically put it there to signal the start of a war. Then explained, you know, when the threat is ended, the hatchet is removed. And he removes it, of course, because his part is done in the war. You know, he dealt with everyone he had to deal with. But at the cost of what, you know? He didn't succeed in saving his village. He lost his father. He had to kill him himself. And he got used by the people he thought he could trust. Of course, there's not only bad things, you know, he also has the homestead, he had Achilles and lots of positive memories through that. But in regards to what he set out to do and start a war, you know, or be part of it, yeah, it didn't end in a happy way. That's why he removes the hatchet and just throws it away, essentially, you know, or just lets it drop. Because he's also, I guess, maybe tired of it and doesn't intend on, like, picking it up again anytime soon. I think it's really well done. It really does rot, you know, especially when the characters are already like well established and you know their motivations, you know what they're there for. Which is why the whole like Charlesley and Connor scene works so well when Connor eventually kills him in the tavern. You know, Charlesley's like, what are you waiting for? You know, I'm like a dead man anyway. But we don't need to hear that, you know, we can see it. And in a visual media like a game, I think it's really great sometimes when it's not strictly depending on like, yeah, dialogue always.
Good evening to you.
But yeah, on the good side, Achilles is still alive. kind of funny because I feel like part of the reason why Connor's also like so down at the end is also another loss of like losing, you know, somebody who felt like a real father to him, which is Achilles. But given that I never got around of like getting the Reverend to my homestead, I never get to the point of where Achilles actually dies. So I guess in my playthrough, Achilles lives a happy life until the end of our days here, at least. It's also still funny how it's like, you know, kind of having an invisible walking stick there. It is like, you know, standing on. It's also interesting because it also changes the cutscene of the whole like burying the, you know, the key here in Connor's grave. Because right now there's only Connor and Abigail Davenport. Since Achilles hasn't died, his gravestone isn't here yet, and it wasn't during that cutscene too, which is pretty cool. Like a pretty nice detail, I think. Ava Kenway, welcome in. Is that Edward's outfit? It's not. This is the Philadelphia dye for Connor's regular outfit. It's like a black and white or grey and white meeting a bit of red accents, I guess. Kind of suit. But yeah guys, so this is where our playthrough ends. I'm not gonna be doing the last 2 epilogue missions because they're just like small cutscenes. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a look over here. So we end up with 47% total sync. And looking at the stats, we played for 24 hours now, which means we had another 13 map looks that we could have used. I mean, that's really our only important statistic here. When it comes to the no HUD run, at least. Byte codes 510? Yeah, quite a few, I guess. Time spent anonymous, 4 hours. And notorious, 2 minutes less. All things must be in balance, right? Time spent in conflict, 8 hours? What the heck? I was 8 hours in conflict. That's crazy. I'm not sure if some of these stats are actually messed up, you know, because some of these stats mix up with other save outs. Like for instance, when I started this run, I had like a playtime at the start of like 30 hours or something. Because it basically put together the playtime of my other save that I had going. I had to delete that to basically get the timer to reset to only having this one. But I remember some other stats that also seem to be like a bit screwed up. So I'm not sure if that 8 hours is really correct there, because I don't think I spent that much time in conflict. I mean, obviously there's like lots of combat parts, and often they're getting chased around the city for quite a while, but 8 hours? I don't know. Yeah, so this is also gonna be the end of the stream. I'm gonna call it here for now. There's a chance that I might come back later with something new or short or casual. Depends on if I'm in the mood for it and if how much time I have. But for now I'm gonna end the stream here, and we're gonna take a break. And yeah, if I'm not back in like another half an hour to an hour, then you know that I'm probably not streaming today anymore. And yeah, if I am, I guess you're gonna see it as well. See you next time, Switchblade. Thank you for being here. Catch you again soon as well, Senny. Thanks for being here too. So even if I'm only taking a break, potentially I'm still gonna raid out. And we're gonna raid out to Lucinda, because she's also playing AC today with Odyssey. And I wanted to see how far she's getting and yeah, how she's enjoying it. If you want to come along with a raid, feel free to copy and paste the raid emotes that Rod posted. See you later, Stanley. Take care. And yeah, I will catch you guys over to Cinders. Until then, have a good one. Thanks again for being here. And yeah, I see you in the next one.